Hey everyone, it's Jackie Connon. Thank you so much for joining me today. So, I've been reflecting a lot on today and what today means. 5 years ago today, my husband was struck by a very severe illness. It happened literally overnight. He woke up one morning and could not get out of bed. Well, he actually got out of bed, he fell out of bed and said that he couldn't walk. His legs just were not working. And I thought that he was crying wolf because he is a horrible patient and he gets a cold and his first words are, "No one has ever had a cold like I have a cold." So I really just, said, "Oh, come on, just get up." But literally he could not walk. His legs were not working. I was on my way to work and called up my partner and best friend and said, "You have to get over here. I don't know what's going on. Michael can't get up." And luckily, we have a friend who is a head of ER at a local hospital. We called him. He said, "Get over here right away." So my friends helped us get Michael in the car, and we rushed him to the emergency room, and he was there for hours and hours, and no one could figure out what was going on. After a long time, he was eventually diagnosed with Guillain-Barré syndrome. And if you're not familiar with that, it is something that lives inside of everybody and can be activated at any time. It can be caused by stress or an illness, or there's some conflicting reports that it may be caused by the flu vaccine. So, regardless, it was really, really scary. It took a long time before he was diagnosed. And before then, and even after he was diagnosed, we didn't know what the outcome was going to be. I mean, we were in that hospital room for days and days, not knowing exactly what was going to happen. He had very little use of his limbs, and he had severe headaches. His vision was affected. I actually had to feed him. It was horrible, really awful, and we just did not know what was going on. Eventually, he was able to move to a rehab hospital where he was so fortunate because he got amazing care there. They helped him walk again, and he regained everything. It took a very long time for his vision to come back around, and that was about a year before he was released from his ophthalmologist. But it was really, really a very scary time because we didn't know what was going to happen. With Guillain-Barré, there are so many different strains of it, and if it affects everybody so differently. You can have relapses, you can be on a respirator where it is actually affecting your lungs and your heart. And, that in and of itself taught me to be grateful because here Michael was suffering with this horrible illness, but I knew that it could be so much worse. And even though we didn't know what the future was going to hold, I knew that he could breathe on his own. So we were grateful for those tiny little things. So, the lesson that I learned out of all of that, I believe that there's a lesson in everything that we go through, whether it's something good or something not so good in our lives. And the lesson that I did learn, there were many, but primarily was to be grateful, that I'm big on gratitude and being grateful, and that experience taught me to really be grateful because he recovered. Thankfully, he has had a full recovery. I do get scared every time he gets sick because I think, oh my gosh, it could happen again. But he had a full recovery. He thankfully has not had the relapse. And, it was a little blip in the grand scheme of things. But, we're thankful, very grateful. So, I think that even when there are bad things that happen, we can look at them and try to figure out what we can glean from them and take something positive out of it. And I know that's hard often when there are very difficult circumstances happening, but I've learned to be grateful for little things. So as we're moving into the holidays, I like to reflect on things like that, and celebrate the important things like recovering from illnesses and having our family around, and just the time of the year spent with family. So I hope that everybody has a wonderful holiday, and next week I will be back and looking forward to talking about goals setting for the new year, which I'm really excited about. So thanks for tuning in, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend and holiday. Bye.